Nevertheless, the point of that, ladies and gentlemen, is that welcome to Let's Get Trashed. This is Let's Get Trashed. I'm Nick. That's Steve. We are. What do we call? Do we have a nickname? We're calling ourselves the Trash Boys.
The good old Trash Boys. The good old We should just start making merch now because I just fucking design it now. Good old Trash Boys.
Good. Although, if we have any fans that want to design stuff for us, please send in your designs. We'd love to see fan art. I want fan art. I want fan fiction. I want to.
Yeah. Do you really?
About myself. What I'm up to?
We might be really good in the gay community. I feel we're gonna start.
Sure. They're filming just like myself. Let's talk about movies. I don't even know.
Yeah.
I have a movie on my list that is. I'm gonna watch Call Me by Your Name pretty soon because again I'm all in on Timothée Chalamet, so I'm watching all his films.
If Timothée Chalamet wasn't in it, would you watch it?
No.
Well,
I mean, I'm not that I would avoid it, but I didn't watch it for. It came out 3 or 4 years ago at this point.
It's been a while, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't watch it because I didn't, again, I wasn't watching like prestige movies or whatever.
Yeah.
The reason I'm going back to like revisit it is because of Timothée Chalamet.
Nice.
If it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be revisiting a movie from 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Did
you see Lady Bird?
No.
All right, go check that one out too when you have time.
Yeah, I'll get it. I'll do his whole filmography.
All right, cool. Yeah, do it. Man. It's fucking some solid films in there.
Yeah.
Today, what movie we're talking about?
Since today we're not talking about
your name,
artistic filmography of Timothée Chalamet. We're talking about The Batman.
Yeah, The Batman.
Yeah, which has to. I keep forgetting to call it The Batman, so I have to call it The Batman, like it's the Ohio State University, like
the Ohio State University.
I don't remember the before it. Because Batman. Frankly, they probably should just called it Batman. I don't think it's that. I don't know what would the consequences be if they just called it Batman.
I don't know. Probably just confusion for people.
For whom?
I don't know.
Who's confused now? Who doesn't know that this is what we're doing? Is every 4 years we have a new superhero of the same guy.
Yeah, I don't know. People just get confused. I honestly, there's a lot of Batmans now. This is already confusing.
Really? You're getting even confused? Even the film podcasting elite is confused.
What are you gonna say that about myself? But yeah, I'm fucking confused. There's just so much shit, man. There's so much shit now. Because I watch everything. So I watched the DC animated series, which is amazing. I don't know if you've ever seen a DC animated film.
Batman the animated series from the 90s when we were kids.
Yeah, that shit's solid, dude.
It's an all-time great cartoon.
It's amazing, man. I fucking love that shit. And also Batman Beyond. I love that too.
Batman Beyond was great. Kevin Conroy was the voice actor for Batman. Voice actor for Bruce Wayne Batman in those days. He is great. He has the best voice. That to me was Batman forever. Until Batman Forever came out, and then that was Batman. No, Batman the animated series is my favorite superhero thing ever. And Batman's my favorite superhero.
Yeah, should be.
Despite the fact that I have not been overly excited about any recent Batman movie, but in general, Batman's my favorite superhero if I have to have one. And then the animated series is my favorite thing. And Batman Beyond was great. That was really good. You would think it would suck because it's like, oh, Batman 40 years later with more.
Yeah.
It's a kid. It's Batman now. But again, I was a kid when I watched it. So.
Yeah. No, it's still amazing. You watch it again, it's still just as good, man. I've fucking gone back, watched that shit, and I appreciate it even more as an adult. And also, the vibes of that Batman are very similar to Batman Beyond. Like, it's really close to feeling like that for me, at least. It felt kind of similar, and I really enjoyed that. There was a lot of fun to be had in that old series. Also, the new shit, man. DC's releasing fucking animated full-length films pretty much that are animated, and they're fucking amazing, dude. Like, some of the shit goes so in depth with the character development. Like, you have to know the comics to even get a little further in, but it's like so much shit that it's fun. it's like so much entertainment for like an animation company, compared to like a film company where like I think DC releases like probably like 6 of these a year, and every one of them is like fucking so good.
Yeah,
I recommend it.
I don't believe that.
I know. Check it out. Check it out. Just watch one. You're gonna be like, holy shit, this is better than Batman fucking versus Superman. Like, it's just way better than Well,
that's okay. You're setting the bar low.
I know, but like, I get mad because it's like you see that content.
Superman, and this podcast is a little meandering. I'm being honest.
Fair. But yeah, it's fucking good, man. I think you should watch at least one of the animated series and be like, oh shit, this is actually really good. This is
animated series Batman Beyond I watched, I remember very well. Those are good. And then of course I watched all the Batman movies that were contemporary when I was a kid. The Batman animated movies, like Mask of the Phantasm was one. I think I got as far as Killing Joke.
The Killing Joke?
Under the Red. Under the Red.
2013, 2014? Or 2012?
No, they're earlier than that. Well, then maybe I watched a different one that was earlier.
Okay.
I've definitely heard of Killing Joke. I don't know if I've seen it. But Under the Red Hood and then Mask of the Phantasm I watched. And then maybe one other one. I can't remember. But that's neither here nor there. Those were good. Again, Kevin Conroy is the best Batman. And honestly, Mark Hamill's the second best Joker.
I think it's first. He's up there.
I mean, his voice is great. Hamill was a great voice actor. That was all he was doing. It still kind of is. It's just voice acting stuff.
Yeah, he's good at it. Man.
He never had a film career really after Star Wars.
Not really. Yeah, I guess. Well, he's gonna be in a couple of things pretty soon, but.
I mean, yeah, but not things anybody.
He's gonna. Yeah.
Not. He's no Harrison Ford, who had a ridiculous film career.
Yeah.
Successful after Star Wars. I don't know. Carrie Fisher never had a big career after Star Wars. Whatever. Yeah. This is not Star Wars. Where are they now? The Batman State University. So we're gonna try to structure this. We're gonna do the best we can. We're gonna try to structure this in a way that doesn't give spoilers until a very specific part of the episode. That's the spoilers, and I'm gonna edit it, or I'm gonna put a thing up on the screen. So
we'll do jazz hands for spoilers for like 2 minutes straight, so people know.
Yeah, we're gonna try to, we're gonna try to do something just to organize this one a little bit more, because this is the most contemporary movie we're watching. I saw it like the day after it came out. I saw it on Friday. So I saw it. I saw it the first day it was in theaters. I didn't go to a night thing, but I did see it on a Friday during the day. I have that freedom to go see daytime movies. Steve, did you see the midnight showing?
No, I did not see the midnight showing. I went to the Friday night 11 o'clock showing.
How was that?
It was packed. It was pretty packed. I was surprised. I was expecting that many people to be there, but it was packed. Saw it in IMAX Dolby. And that shit, the audio made the movie, I think, way better, because I saw it again yesterday or 2 days ago, and the audio was nowhere near as good as the IMAX theater. And I was like, fucking a little. Oh, and also the lighting in the IMAX theater, it was just better visuals. You could see the Batman a little bit sooner than you could in the standard showing. Okay. So like shit like that, like it was really, really dark in the standard showing. And I was like, damn, this is like hard to see. But that's the only complaint I had.
That's an interesting comparison. It's also funny for you to see the movie the second time in a regular cinema and be like, wait, I thought I saw Batman here before. Oh, there he is. Like,
yeah. It was moments like that where I was like,
you're watching a movie for the second time and you're expecting Batman a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
So you're more surprised by Batman. Maybe that's better. It's better than understanding, because you don't see Batman until he's right on top of you.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much, man. It was very similar like that. I was like, oh shit.
I'm actually like, I'm not scared of Batman. I saw him from fucking a mile away. But in standard theater, it's like
it was a mystery.
Pops in.
But yeah, 2 different showings, and there was 2 different vibes in the crowd. You could tell. there was a crowd that the first night it was a lot more cheerful, and this morning crowd was a lot older on the older side, and they're just shit was just hitting late for them. I guess they're just older, so they needed that time, you know.
Mhm.
But I also, I guess I'd seen it, so I already knew what was going on. So, you know, it's different, but it's just it's good. It was good. Both times was I think I appreciated the second time even more.
Well, speaking of the mystery, I will say I'll say one thing that this movie does better than any other Batman. And again, from here on out, we're done talking about animated. We're only talking live action. So when I say
Cool.
Batman movie, from this point on, I don't mean the cartoons. I mean
the movie that came out last week. We're in it. This is what we're doing.
Oh, but I'm going to compare it to some previous stuff. Obviously, the Schumacher stuff from the '90s and the Tim Burton from the '80s, '90s, stuff like that. But and of course the Nolan trilogy, which is my favorite.
What about the Zack Snyder?
Sure. I mean, yeah. Well, we're not going to dive into those, but I just
cool. That's fine.
Bring up about this movie, and because you said the word mystery, and that made me think of it. Is that this is, I think, the best example of Batman being a detective, which was kind of his thing. Some people go as far to say as that the criticism is Batman doesn't have a superpower. He's just rich, and he has gadgets or whatever. One counter argument I've heard to that my whole life from people that read comic books much more than myself is that Batman actually kind of does have a superpower. It's he's the world's greatest detective. He's got that super intellect. That's actually what he does.
Yeah.
And then most Batman movies don't focus on that aspect. They focus on the fun gadgets and the gears and the villains and these crazy schemes and plots that he has to foil and all kinds of stuff. But this one had that, but it did a good job of Batman trying to, I felt like, okay, I am finally seeing the detective aspect of him for the first time on film.
Yeah.
Seen before.
Yeah. 100%. I think the way the pacing was of that too, and like how it was like clue, learn. It was a really cool process of seeing that actually happen and like seeing him working with someone else and like getting shit done. That was really cool. Just that aspect of that and like his character being just the smartest person in the room for the most part and having the answers to the questions and everyone being like someone reading a list and being like, "What's up, Batman?" And then Batman's like, "Oh, I got this answer. Like I studied last night. I got the whole fucking exam in this arm, like he knew everything. It was fucking really cool." But yeah, it was the first time I've ever seen him like fucking search for some shit and actually find some information.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Yeah, it is the first time I think we see him solve a crime, because in the Batman trilogy, the Nolan trilogy, he's never he's just hanging out.
Yeah.
He's just posting up. Gotham City is like fucking Vice City in Grand Theft Auto. Like just hang out on a street corner long enough, and some crime's gonna go by, and you can just hop on and attack it. And he, starts following the mobsters around and whatever. That was the Nolan trilogy. This one, obviously, there's these high profile crimes happening. We see our first crime happen on screen. The Riddler murders the mayor.
Hey, do you want spoilers or what, man?
Okay, this happens in the first 5 minutes of the film. Do you think this is a spoiler?
I don't know. I feel like it might be.
It's not what spoilers are.
So spoilers is like the ending for you? Because I think it's anything information about any of the movies.
That's not what spoilers are.
That's fine.
This is part of the plot. This is not okay. So in this episode, in addition to us not doing spoilers until a very specific section, we are also going to educate Steve on what the fuck spoilers means. Something I never thought I would have to do to a film.
No, I just think any spoiling of anything is a spoiler, typically. Does it make sense?
No, because that's not. Because what you're calling spoiler is not. That's not. That's part of the plot. That's part of that might have been in a trailer. The Riddler is the it's the first 5 minutes of the film. The Riddler killed the mayor.
All right, well, we'll talk about your shit.
That's the inciting incident. That's Act 1, Steve. That's not. This is crazy that you think that's a spoiler. Is it a spoiler that Zoe Kravitz is Catwoman? No, she's on the fucking poster, dude. It's not. Even though Batman finds out. He's like, what's her? He finds out her name.
Yeah.
All the cats. She calls herself Catwoman. Whatever. It's new to him, but it's not new to us because I saw on the side of the fucking building as I walked into the movie theater. That's not a spoiler, dude.
Fair.
The inciting incident of the film is Riddler kills a guy. We know very early on that guy is the mayor. This is
not fun.
I can't believe I had to explain that to you.
Hey, I was just verifying what is a spoiler for us because other people, they don't even talk about that shit. They're like, okay, we're just gonna talk about like the general fucking flow of shit. So that's why I was like, what are we going to go into?
The people that want to avoid any kind of, and I understand that. I avoid anything. I don't want to hear anybody talk about a movie.
Exactly.
That I'm excited about. If there's a movie that I'm anticipating, that I know I'm going to see, I don't want to hear anybody talk about anything. But I also don't go on YouTube and click on their faces and have them talk about it.
I do.
If it's a movie I don't, if it's one you're definitely going to see already.
Yeah, I will. I watch. Well, it's on Marvel movies. It's like I fucking follow that shit like it's a religion. Not even kidding.
I know. That's what I was saying. You guys are like evangelical Christians trying to get everybody onto your shit. I watch film stuff, like film. Again, shout out to Red Letter Media, the best at this whole thing. I watch those guys when they're talking about a movie I don't care about, and then if they say it's good or if they give a compelling reason to watch it, then I'll check it out.
That's fair.
If they were to do, let's see, what's a movie we're definitely gonna that A24 movie we're talking about, the
Everything All at Once.
That's a movie I'm probably gonna see.
Yeah, 100%.
Which means if I don't see it before those guys do their review, I won't watch their review because I know I'm gonna see it anyways.
Yeah, I get you.
And then I'll watch their thing after. That's
cool.
That's my. Fun. Nevertheless,
let's hop back onto Batman now. Yeah. Let's get over that hump we're on. that hill someone wants to die on.
Well, it's just crazy that you thought that.
I just thought different scenario, different situation. That's my thought process. I didn't want to ruin it for anyone that's viewing this. But let's go continue. Yes, the mayor dies. He gets beat the shit.
We have a killer. He's killing people, and he's killing high profile
people.
People or not famous, but he's killing important officials and stuff like that.
Gotham City,
Gotham City, and he's leaving riddles about it. So
for the Batman,
alert, it's the Riddler is the bad guy. Also, not a spoiler. We know that.
You wouldn't have guessed it.
He's on the poster with the question mark. He's got like a camo, like he's got like a green flak jacket or army jacket with question mark written on it.
Yeah.
And honestly, it was. I know we're trying to make all this stuff real. That was a good design choice, costume wise. Yeah. As much as I wish he was like, remember that guy from Infomercial? Yeah, remember that infomercial guy that had he had dollar signs?
Yes, I do.
That was always like the Riddler suit, question marks instead of dollar signs.
Yeah. Hat top. Was it the bowling hat and the cane?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's almost looks like the Irish. What is it? That one fucking team, basketball team. He looks like that.
The Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. He always he had a green suit. It was always covered in question marks, and he was always very silly. Obviously, Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Edward Nigma was Enigma was the
Enigma.
That was the comic book and the cartoon version. He was Enigma. I think they're done with that kind of like wordplay anymore.
100%, I agree.
Right, so he's the bad guy, and then of course the Batman is involved, and he is trying to solve some of these murders, or maybe prevent the next one. It kind of doesn't.
I'm not gonna lie, the Batman isn't that great at a detective. Like
Right.
the Riddler in this kind of carries everything. He's calling the shots. He's the shot caller because none of this shit goes accordingly to Batman. Like he's struggling the whole fucking time. At some point, he doesn't even know La Rata from El Rata. It's a huge situation.
We'll get that's a funny but you're right. So what the problem is that even though like we just said, we like the fact that they emphasize the detective aspect of Batman. As a detective, Batman's not very proactive. He's the Riddler does a thing, commits a murder or something, commits some sort of action, leaves a clue. Batman gets it. He mulls it over for a while, and then the next scene, the Riddler does something else, and then Batman goes and collects his clue there. But Batman's never he's never going after something. He's reacting to all this stuff. So they didn't give Batman a really good job of doing the next thing. It's kind of like, after all these scenes, it's kind of just waiting around for the next Riddler.
Yeah, something happened because he's moving the movie, and the way he's moving it is entertaining, and seeing Batman struggle is entertaining too. But also, this movie did a really weird job of showing the audience what was going on, or like informing them about something. Like, I don't know, just listening to Gordon talk, I was just like, this guy is worse than this is the worst Gordon we've ever had. He's just doesn't know. He's asking simple questions like, what's going on? Like, or like, there's a phone call at one point, someone's being strangled, and we can get that just from the audio, but he's like, Gordon's like, oh my God, she's getting strangled. And it's like, motherfucker, we know something bad's happening, or we don't need this to explain to us. Another point, they're working on a computer, it gets hacked somehow. We have Gordon explain to us like, oh shit, this is getting leaked to everyone. When we see this information popping up on screen, we're the viewer, we should be able to understand this. I know there's some people that struggle, but this was shit that was like fucking hilarious.
I wouldn't blame that on Jeffrey Wright, the actor playing Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Necessarily, because he is. I mean, he's good. I like Jeffrey Wright.
He's a good actor. He's a great actor. But in this,
he's a great actor. He's a good actor.
Westworld, man.
Yeah, he's good in Westworld.
I like him.
Where he's. What did you notice about? What's the difference between Bernard in Westworld and Commissioner Gordon?
Commissioner Gordon was a little bit more stupid.
Well, we're not talking about we're talking about the actor.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Jeffrey Wright's a non-famous, does the same thing every movie.
Yeah.
When he's Felix Leiter in the new James Bond, he's Bernard in Westworld, he's Commissioner Gordon. Everything he's the same. Again, we've talked about this a lot on recent episodes that we've
You're right.
Talked about this about Mark Wahlberg and
Morgan Freeman.
Guys that are the same in every movie. Yeah. But Mark Wahlberg and Morgan Freeman are superstars. Jeffrey Wright is a supporting actor in everything.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything he has a starring turn in.
I don't think he has yet.
I don't know if it's coming yet. That has a lot more anticipation for it than I got. Again, I like Jeffrey Wright, but he is in that camp of he's Jeffrey
One
Wright.
Trick pony. Yeah,
one trick pony. I've never seen him like
break out of that role.
Yeah, I've never seen him be anything else.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a fun scene with the USB drive. To our older viewers, this is the first thing I thought when that happened. To our older viewers, if you find a random USB drive anywhere in your travels, anywhere about your life, you don't know what it is. If it doesn't belong to you, don't plug it into any of your computers. Rule number one, literally everybody knows that. Don't plug strange USB shit into your computer. If you didn't open the package at Best Buy with a, if you didn't do that yourself, don't put it anywhere.
Yeah, 100%. And the first rookie move this guy makes.
Commissioner Gordon and the Batman both learned that lesson together. And it's like, guys, Robert Pattinson, you should have helped this older man out with that.
Yeah. You should have been like, excuse, hold on, let's turn this computer off the internet. Let's disconnect.
Let's use my disposable bat computer that's for this exact thing, because I'm a dude that goes around picking up random USB shit. That's kind of my thing. I've prepared for this. He didn't prepare him. He didn't prepare old man Jeffrey Wright, and it caused big problems.
Yes, it was what you would call a shit show, and there was some things that went down way too fast. But yeah, I guess that was the point. Direction of the movie.
That was weird. What did you think about Robert Pattinson's performance?
Okay, so I think he's a decent Batman, but a Bruce Wayne. He's weird. It worked, but it was just so emo, man. So emo in that fucking theater. Like he also the fucking design in that fucking his house was insane. Like I don't know what was going on. I don't know who fucking gave Tim Burton the rights to that and just said, hey, have fun with this, and then just like allowed him to fucking design that room. But that shit was so fucking gothic, dude. Like it was cool, but also like, what the fuck, man? He came out and like it looked like he was wearing a 9 Inch Nails t-shirt at one point. He wakes up, he has sunglasses on, it's daylight out, like he's never seen the sun. And it's like, poor guy, he's pale as shit. He looks more fucking like a vampire now than he does in fucking Twilight. It's crazy. It's insane. I did not expect that at all. I was like, whoa, his hair is even more fucking in his face. I'm like, damn, they did not fucking go through with this well.
Well, that is up for debate. So the reason Pattinson is starring in this film, the whole idea of everything that they did, they wanted a different Bruce Wayne.
Okay.
They wanted what's the word I'm looking for? They wanted a Batman, or they wanted a Bruce Wayne. Like, what if Bruce Wayne was so affected by his parents' thing that he just became a recluse and became this weird guy, and he just became this weird guy. Robert Pattinson would be great at that because he's good at being a weird. He's a good actor.
Yeah.
He's a great actor. I actually really love Robert Pattinson. After seeing him in the Safdie Brothers' Good Time, and I was like, this dude. Again, I never knew what he was. I thought I only knew about him from Twilight. I figured that's all he was. Some teen film star, whatever. In Good Time, I was like, this dude can act. He's weird. He's a creep. He's awesome. So I was on his side big time, and so I thought he was great in this. I don't like the writing or the portrayal of Bruce Wayne as this weird guy, because what is the point? We know he's a weird guy. That's what Batman is, the weird guy. Yeah. The whole point of Batman, it comes up in this film. It comes up a lot in the Nolan trilogy. It's perfectly outlined by David Carradine at the end of Kill Bill 2, when he explains that I think he's talking about Superman, but
he's talking about Superman, and he walks amongst us pretending to be us.
The same concept is that the real guy is Batman. Batman is the real dude. That's what he like feels inside. Yeah. Bruce Wayne is him pretending to be something else so the costume is Bruce Wayne and Batman is actually who he is.
Okay, that's an interesting take on it.
But he puts on the Bruce Wayne costume to go to these events, buy these restaurants. Again, the Nolan trilogy, jumps cool with hot models that he doesn't. Yeah. He does all this wild stuff to distance these two characters so nobody finds out about the real him, because he knows the real him is fucking nuts. So he has to pretend to be this other thing. He pretends to be stupid. He pretends to be whatever. That's what Bruce Wayne is doing.
Yeah.
They take away that part. Now both guys, Bruce Wayne and Batman, both alter egos are both lonely loser creep just at nighttime.
To be fair, this is year 2. He's barely in it, you know, like this is his first round up, you know, kind of, you know, like he's learning still. I'm assuming he becomes more of a social light, if you will, eventually. Like he starts hanging out with the fucking mayor now. He's like, oh no, we're best friends, man. I'm gonna give you some funding for some shit. You know, I think shit's gonna progress like that. It has to, because he's fucking weird. He's so weird. It's so strange to see a Batman like this.
Are they making more of these?
I hope to God they do, because this is fun. I like this.
Okay.
I want to see more characters, more villains.
Okay, we'll see. Well, that's definitely something we're not going to talk about, is more villains. We won't even include that anywhere in this video because there's no point to it. But that's an ultra spoiler that I don't even want to talk about. But yeah, so anyway, I did like the detective angle. I didn't think the Bruce Wayne character was fully fleshed out, and it's funny that you're like, what is his house? That they let Tim do a guest set design.
Yeah.
That is funny. It's weird that it's like, I don't know. It's not that it's, what am I trying to say? It's not that it's his house was weirdly designed or whatever. It's that, where does he live?
Yeah, I don't know if he lives in the fucking tower.
We didn't get anything. Yeah, we didn't get anything about him. Does he live in the tower? Does he live in Wayne Manor outside? You know,
I think he lives in the tower, man. Because at some point there's an explosion and his tower is up and fire, and it's like, is that it?
I don't know if I don't think that was the only residence we saw. Was it? Either way, if it was, it wasn't made clear to us that like this is where he lives,
resides. Yeah,
they glossed over all that. It's
a little bit, yeah, a little bit,
which doesn't give us anything about the character as far as like, what is he, you know,
where's he working out of?
Yeah, it does. You need an environment around a character to kind of stabilize him in your mind when you're watching.
Even his cave felt like, you know how in older Batman's it feels like a character almost. The cave, this one got very little screen time, and I was kind of disappointed by that. Like I was wanting more, and like the time we did have in there, it was like real quick. It was just like, hey, we're here to re up our package shit. We're getting out of here, and like it was really fast. I was a little saddened by that, because I was like, I wanted the cave is always cool to see, and like see like what he has and like what he's working on, but there was little to none, which I guess is interesting.
Right. It acts as a character. It at least informs the character that we're trying to get something. And again, it's Batman. How much character can we possibly be getting from a character that we've seen in 15 different films over the last 22 years? So fair enough. But or 32 years. Goddamn, 80. I'm old.
Yeah, you're old.
Batman came out in 89. Anyway, yeah, the longest scene we get in the Batcave is just him and Andy Serkis arguing with each other.
Yeah,
which Andy Serkis as Alfred I thought was underwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
They honestly, I don't think they needed him at all. They could have trimmed some time off of this movie by just.
Yeah, I was saying that. I've been saying that a lot. I was like, there's like 20 to 30 minutes of content I didn't need. It's not like crazy bad, but there was some lulls in the movie where I was just like, this could have been done a little bit faster, or this could have just been edited out. We didn't need to see all this shit.
Yeah,
there was a lot of brooding. I was like, we could just cut that out. You know, like I get it, he's hard, but he's not that hard. You know,
it's a 3-hour film.
Long movie. Yeah,
that's long.
It is long, man. And it's. I think it's 30 minutes too long for a Batman movie. I think, yeah. I don't think it should have gone that long. I was like, dude, this is
too long.
No, it was too long. Because there was some cool storytelling going on, and also
fit on a VHS. Too long.
Too long. It doesn't fit on this Betamax disc. I don't want it.
That's even shorter. That's why VH1, because it's longer run play than Betamax. Nevertheless.
Okay, can we get into spoilers?
Not yet.
Or what are we getting into next? What's that? I want to talk about this film. I want to
talk about two things. I got two things. I know. Chomping at the bit.
Yeah.
First, I saw on Twitter some interview where Zoe Kravitz says that in order to get into the role of Catwoman, she drank milk out of a saucer, like on her hands and knees, lapping up milk with her tongue. And then, thank God, those pictures came to light. Up on the screen now. I'm doing some editing for this episode. It is, yeah. So Zoe Kravitz drinking milk while wearing the Catwoman mask. It's crazy. It's crazy that you think that was relevant to the character.
Has to, yeah.
I don't know if she's kidding, but the pictures are they're taken with a good camera, so it looks like she put some thought into it. The other thing I want to talk about, why do Batman side characters and or villains, why do those actors, I feel so bad that Heath Ledger died, because A, he did a great job as the Joker, and B, it really fucked up every Batman villain actor since him, because they all think they have to go.
Yeah,
they all think
the Alps.
Yeah, they have to be like Paul Dano with the Riddler in an interview said, like, after doing the things he had to do, I couldn't sleep anymore for a few weeks because I was so deep and dark into this terrible character. It's like, dude, can you please just be normal? Can a Batman actor, for the love of Christ, just be cool for, once? You don't all have to almost die like Heath Ledger. Like, that's not a benchmark we expect from you. Also, Heath Ledger didn't die for Joker reasons. He died of a drug overdose. Okay, don't stop equating these two things. Art is not better. This is not more art. If you feel like your brain is fucked up, just stop. Just be normal.
No, I agree. I 100% agree.
Kravitz doing weird shit to try to just relax. Just you pretend to be a Riddler. You pretend to be a cat burglar, and let's fucking just film this movie. You don't have to. Nobody's expecting this of you.
No one's going 10 extra miles for this fucking shit we to get these people's faces in this film. And then after that, it is what it is. Yeah.
Also, Paul Dano, I don't believe you. I'm sure you slept fine, and I don't believe you, and I don't think this makes you better. It's
I saw that same post, and then right underneath it was like, dude, you did 12 years a slave. And everyone went off. And it was so fucking funny. You did a fucking something's based off real events and shit, and you're fucking sad about the fucking character you played as a Riddler. Like, bro, that is such gold.
12 years a slave. Damn.
Dude, it was so good. I'll send you that screenshot. One of my friends sent me that.
Yeah, no, send it to me. I'm putting it up.
It's so good.
That's incredible. That's exactly what we mean.
Yeah, that's
exactly what Steve and I are speaking on behalf of the public right now. To every Batman actor, shut the fuck up with all this. The other thing is, before we get into spoilers, and maybe you will, but first of all, this movie, anti-Italian American discrimination. I don't like. Anti-Italian discrimination. I don't like what they're, Italians are the only safe bad guy we can go after now.
Yeah.
Although I have a feeling Russians are going to be coming back in a big way in future movies.
In 2025, we're going to see some Russians.
Yeah, but for the time being, the only safe bad guys you can have are Italian men, and it's crazy. And why? Why are all these millionaire Italian middle-aged mobsters in every Batman movie? Because Eric Roberts was Falcone in the Nolan trilogy. Why are all these middle-aged Italian men hanging out in fucking rave nightclubs with this loud house music playing at like 110 decibels? Surrounded by drugs and
women,
this crazy like choreography and all this dance and the flashing strobe lights. I've literally, believe it or not, I have met a family's worth of Italian American middle-aged men, and they hate light and loud music, and they just There's no part of them. I couldn't get my dad to go, my dad did, I couldn't get my dad to go to any nightclub. Fucking, he's not going to go like, oomph, 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 with the lights. It's fucking wild that this happens in every Batman movie, that this is where they choose to hang out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, it's crazy.
Where else? I guess. Yeah. Where else do you sell drugs though? You can't just like you're higher. You have higher odds in the building. You know.
If you're a mobster wearing a suit, you don't sell drugs.
Yeah.
They have younger guys.
Sounds like you know a lot about this.
Yeah. I've watched the best TV show on earth, The Sopranos, 9 times. Those guys hang out in the strip club, and when the light when those lights are loud and the girls are dancing, they tend to leave and go upstairs to hang out.
They go in the back and play pool.
Yeah, they go to the office up top. Yeah, exactly. It's upstairs. That's where they really hang out.
Well, kind of. It was like that. Like, no one was in the ground floor of the clubs, man. Everyone had their own respectable offices, if you will, in the shadows.
No, and that's the thing, is they're not hanging out there. Stellan, whichever Skarsgård it was it Stellan Skarsgård?
I have no idea. There's so many of those fuckers.
So one of the Skarsgårds, who this is spoiler adjacent, so I'm not gonna. But he was hanging out in the belly of the club. He's not Italian, but still. Why is this dude here? How is this fun for him? You're way too old to be pretending to enjoy this and doing whatever they're calling Molly in the Batman universe.
Oh fuck, lemon drops. No, is it lemon drops? What the fuck's it called?
There was some sort of eye drop drugs.
Eye drops, yeah. But that's from. I think that's it. It took a lot from Batman Beyond from that aspect, and I like that. Like I liked the club scene in Batman Beyond when he goes in. You're like, oh shit, this is a different type of Batman, and had a vibe.
I mean, again, that Nolan had that scene too. Remember Eric Roberts, the great Eric Roberts, who's talking, and he's talking with with some girl. He's with this, and she's like, can we go somewhere else? We can't even hear each other talk. And Eric Roberts goes, what makes you think I want to hear you talk?
Yes, that did happen. That's all.
Then Batman shows up and he punches everybody at this nightclub, and then the whole thing. I don't know. I just think they're overusing this set piece in Batman movies. If all our villains are going to be, Italian men in their 60s, this is overused.
You want them in a pizza shop? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, or a nicer club, or I want them at Cetriol's. I want them, at least in the back of something.
Yeah, I get you.
Somewhere, fucking, who knows? On a, these guys should have their own mansions out in the country.
Yeah, that's fair. I get you. I understand.
So now, the long-awaited. We're getting into spoilers, folks.
Spoilers.
Right. What do you want to talk about, Steve?
Oh, dude, I want to talk about everything. Shit, yeah. Okay, so this movie, I enjoyed this movie a lot, man. I actually did. The spoilers are fucking everywhere in this film. There's so much shit going on, there's a lot. Okay, so fucking Penguin's character, dude. Penguin's character fucking stole the show from me, man. I loved it.
Here's the biggest spoiler of all. I didn't know until I checked IMDb afterwards that was Colin Farrell.
Dude, no, I knew that. Oh, I fucking was the shit I watched, but that was also an appearance that no one would know. Dude,
he did such a good job.
He did a great job, and his character, the way it progressed, and his communication style, it was the perfect. This is the best Penguin we've had since fucking what's his name? What's the short guy? Fucking Rachel Danny DeVito. This was a fun performance.
Danny DeVito was a cartoony Penguin because he had the fused hands and everything. Again, they're trying to take all these eccentric Batman characters and they're trying to ground them.
Yeah.
So the Riddler is not wearing the crazy costume with the question marks.
Yeah.
The Penguin, he's not a guy that controls birds and has his hands are flippers. He's just a fat dude who's short. He's just short and fat and kind of waddles around, like that dude would. They don't say his last name.
Yeah.
They don't say. They call him Oz and Oz.
Yeah.
They don't ever mention his name is Cobblepot.
Pots. Yeah. They never say that.
No,
oh my god, damn it.
They can't. That doesn't fit with the new aesthetic that they're building.
Yeah, I get that.
We can't have this silliness. Which again, I think these movies could use more silliness.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think it would take me out of it if this is Oswald Cobblepot. Like that wouldn't.
Yeah, it wouldn't ruin it for me. But also, I think he was like the comedic relief in this film for me. I enjoyed seeing when he was on fucking camera. I was like, oh, this is gonna be a good time because his dialogue, he's very sarcastic with the Batman. He's like almost like he's not worried about the Batman at all. Like he's like, fuck this guy. Like I can say whatever I want to him, and he's not a cop, you know. And then yeah, I think there was a moment in the scene where he's about to pull out a gun, and he doesn't shoot fucking what's his name what's the main bad guy's name, or I guess not the main, but the rat's name, fucking Carmine Falcone. He doesn't shoot. He's like, I didn't shoot, and he's on the floor. That shit was hilarious to me. Like he was just like, he is who he is in the character. I was like, I loved it. It was fucking perfect.
Yeah, he was good. It was a little too much. It was a little too overacty at the scene you mentioned earlier. The no hablo español Batman, like he really turned on the Italian like accent for that scene. Like, oh, you guys have got me up against the wall here.
Yeah, it's very much like that.
Mr. Gordon and Batman are co-interrogating this fucking dude. Again, that's what it was like. You know, as an Italian man myself, I was like, these are stereotypes, and I don't appreciate this voice.
So sorry.
No, yeah, he was funny. One thing that had me laughing was the reveal. So, Batman has a thing with Catwoman, and Catwoman infiltrates, or she already works at this club. So, Selena Kyle goes into this nightclub she works at. Batman is monitoring her through his special contact lenses, all that kind of stuff. And it's so funny because she has a run-in with John Turturro, who, by the way, did a great job. John Turturro's great and everything. He's a great actor. He's too good for this franchise, probably. But he's great as Falcone, as an Italian mob boss. He's awesome.
Yeah.
But they have that little interaction, and he's like, "Good to see you again," or whatever. And then Robert Pattinson is like, "What? You know this guy? Whatever." And it's just so funny because the spoiler reveal is that when she goes, he's like, "Well, you had sex with him," and she's like, "No, I didn't. He's my father." And then just the relief, Batman. Oh, thank God you never had sex before. Oh my God! As a evil bitch, I couldn't handle the thought of a woman ever having sex before. Thank God that's not what it was. Like, he just dripped with like. It just dripped with that high school not
teenage boy vibes. Yeah, like feelings.
It's very what's that emo band? It's very Dashboard.
Or My Chemical Romance. Oh,
yeah, My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, it's very much those vibes throughout the film.
He's just so happy that she wasn't fucking John Turturro.
It's like, yeah, dude. There's a lot of moments where like you see the sigh of relief and shit in his face. You're like, oh man, poor guy. He was gonna go on like a killing rampage if something went down. Like
just Robert Pattinson. Like, I'm so glad you've never had sex before. All right, you want to hang out? Calm down, guy.
Peter. Sorry, it's not Skarsgård. It's Sarsgaard.
Oh,
he's not a Skarsgård. That's why I was like, what? And so it's Peter Sarsgaard. He's the district attorney, Gil Coulson.
The district attorney who
I liked his character.
I don't know. It was okay. I mean, it meant nothing to me.
I think it was cool to see him like fucking.
It's just another middle-aged dude hanging out in a fucking nightclub. Also, yeah, it was again that they went back to that set piece a lot.
Yeah, it did. That was probably the bigger budget item that they needed to showcase.
Well, and it's funny because it's like at the end of the movie, we find out that the reason the Riddler knows all of this is because he just happens to have an apartment across the street. And he's just hanging out and watching it.
Writing notes for fucking 20 years.
Yeah.
His follower base is 500, though, which...
I know.
I don't know.
I'm glad a movie finally pointed out the real villains in society, which is men with less than 500 Twitter followers. Mentally ill men with 500 Twitter followers. That's the real scourge in America.
That's the real threat.
That's who we need to. That's who we need to go after.
Yeah, man. Fuck. I think this movie had a lot of false endings. I was like, oh, we're done. Like, we're done. And then I was like, oh no, we're still not done. We're going still. Oh, there's still more. Oh fuck. Like, it was just kind of like they kind of dragged that out too long. Like at some point they're like, he's hanging from a fucking electrical box, and like at this point he's trying to save all the people underneath him in the water. That if this shit touches, they die. So that's another ending that I wasn't expecting. I was like, oh, we're gonna end it on top of this point center in the fucking, I guess, Gotham's SAP center or something. Like they're just on top of that. I was like, that'd be the perfect ending. But no, he has to cut that shit down, save these people again. It's just like too many endings for this movie.
The entire everything that happens after the Riddler gets caught and arrested shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, I agree.
There was no leading up to it. So what we find out, or what we find out seconds before it happens. That's the thing, is there's no indication. There's no long.
There's more.
There's no indication that this is like going to happen.
Yeah.
As far as everybody in the film is concerned, it's done.
Yeah.
Riddler gets caught, and it should have been done. That would have been a better ending.
Yeah.
But then the Riddler, just one character out of nowhere with no foundation behind it, nothing built up behind it, goes, oh, by the way, I planted car bombs everywhere along the seawall, and I'm going to flood the city. Yeah. And it's like, okay, well, you didn't tell us that we were like working towards this. So now we have to have a short, hastily done scene where Batman finds the clue thanks to a
detective.
Thanks to just a regular cop who happens to make an offhanded comment about a tool that has Batman ripping up carpet.
Yeah.
But it's just, other than that, it was a really weak justification for this big explosive ending that it didn't need.
Yeah. Also, I think just the aspect of them adding all that, it seemed like it was like, oh, we need to fill this space. It's like, no, we don't need to fill this space with anything. We could just end it. Because the whole way through, we're never told about any, like, even the killings, everyone's killing is like fucking like pretty hardcore. The only one that's not is like Bruce Wayne's. There's a fucking mailing attempt. Like he throws a bomb at him from the fucking mailbox and pretty much, or not throws it, but he sends it to him. Fucking Alfred throws it, avoids death. I don't know how. Everyone seems to just avoid death in this movie so well. There's an explosion 3 inches away from Batman's face, and he fucking survives. Like, this shit was insane.
Oh yeah, Batman survives. Sarsgaard dies. He dies because the explosion's around his neck.
Yeah.
Batman is right there. He doesn't even do the turn around and like.
Yeah, you shield nothing.
He gets full on in the face, and he fucking is fine. Nobody. That was a suspension of disbelief. Instead of waking up like 10 seconds later, surrounded by cops, he wakes up presumably hours later. And nobody ever lifted his mask at this point. They gave him 2 hours of like chilling.
Rest.
In the second he wakes up, some frothing at the mouth lieutenant is like, I'm taking the mask off. It's like, you could have done that 8 seconds ago when he was still asleep. That would have A, made sense.
Yeah.
And B, I don't know, wouldn't have had all this like artificial drama and everything. It's very weird.
Yeah.
So that was poor storytelling for the sake of having these moments.
Yeah.
They want to have these moments that don't make sense, and they connect it with just these thin threads of like, this kind of works, right? And it just in general.
I also think Batman, again, year 2, I get it. He's year 2 in. He's not a good detective. This Riddler is at least 18 steps ahead of him in every situation. The only person that lives is him, and that's just because fucking the Riddler wasn't smart enough to figure out that guy was Batman. And
no, Bruce Wayne is Batman.
Yeah, and like I thought like he knew at some point, and then everyone was like, oh, does he know? And that's when he's interrogating him, and then he finds out he doesn't know that Bruce Wayne is Batman, and he's like, fuck, we missed one. He's like, fucking, he's all mad about it, but it's like, dude, believe it or not, it's the same guy. and then he also thought he was on his side for some reason. But yeah, it's a whole.
Yeah, again, the Riddler's motivation doesn't make a lot of sense, which is, again, that's my biggest complaint.
Yeah, being an orphan and then losing all the funding.
About any movie is that, but he is motivation. Again, I'll suspend disbelief in any kind of. I got no problem that Batman flies around at night and is awesome. I accept that. Why, the Riddler's like, I was an orphan. They promised us better living quarters, and then
they didn't get him.
And then the guy got killed. He literally says like, and then that weekend, Thomas Wayne got killed.
Yeah.
And he's like, and then the renewal fund didn't build new orphanages.
No.
And like, okay, but you remember that the guy got killed fucking 2 days later, right?
Oh, but he was mad at the fact that they covered Bruce Wayne, who was now an orphan, but still was a millionaire. And he was pissed off at him for that. Because he's like, he doesn't need to be cried about. I'm fucking here in this box with this 30 other kids in this shithole. So I guess that's where the true revenge was,
I guess. I mean, yeah, it was very like a comment on. We're gonna get that out, folks. It was very much a comment on media and literally the words "white privilege" were said at some point during this movie.
100%, yeah.
As like everybody, I mean, there wasn't a ton of people in the theater, but you could feel like, okay, we get it. When you
are white, it's just different.
Catwoman says it. Catwoman says it, and it's just it almost was like a weird, like, yeah, we all knew what you were talking about. We knew what you meant, and then you just like said it. And now it's like, okay, well, now it's too much. Like we all knew where you're,
we knew where this was headed. Again, a lot of storytelling that could have just we already got it, but there was like, oh no, let's inform him some more. It was like, all right, we know that he's wealthy as shit, motherfucker. He's also the palest fucking man in the city. So like, like what else can you add to that?
Yeah.
I do love his car. His car is so fucking dope. The chase scene was a blast. I had so much fun with it.
It was a good chase scene. With things being so dark, it's hard to tell. That's it's hard to tell how much of it was like practical effects and how much of it was CGI.
Yeah, I think most of it was practical. It seemed like it.
I don't know. Again, they do stuff extra dark to
hide shit. Yeah, I get you.
To hide the limitations of CGI.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that chase scene with the penguin, so much fun. I think there's a lot of, I want to say interesting clues or fucking inventive clues, but like I also was kind of mad that we never see the Riddler like as a normal person until the very end. Like I thought he would pop up somewhere, like in the background or something, but he's never there. It's kind of just, but I guess his goons are there, so that's cool.
Right. That's another good point. That's again, the Riddler wasn't fleshed out as a character. We don't really get his motivation other than these like, other than what he says, but we don't see him, hanging around, trying to be a part of it or anything. So, and again, it was weird. We don't know how he got his information other than the fact that he just happens to live across the street from a nightclub that he definitely couldn't get into. How does he know what's going on inside this building? You know what I mean?
He has binoculars. How do you say that word? Binoculars?
Yeah, word is binoculars.
Is binoculars? That's correct. That doesn't sound weird to you? Okay. He has. Okay, well, that sounded weird. Really weird to me, as you can tell by my multiple times repeating it. But yeah, he has. That's his source of, I guess, information. Those binoculars, and that's about it, right? Because he can't get in that club. He's also really good with ropes and jumping in buildings, but like we never see that. He's really quick. Yeah, I don't even know if he's a good killer.
Yeah,
might just be quiet enough. But it doesn't seem like he would be quiet.
So yeah, that whole final act, kind of just was out of nowhere. Doesn't make sense. I would have been happy as like the climax of the film is Falcone being shot.
Yeah, that was a solid ending.
Yeah, that would have been a big enough and personal enough moment to carry the film for me. And then it ends. We just kind of tie up some stuff and wrap it up at the end.
Yeah.
But the whole thing of like I'm devastating the city. I mean, he floods the entire city. The Riddler wins.
Yeah.
He's completely successful. He wins. He blows up the entire city. It's crazy how successful he was. And then he has his like Twitter followers on the catwalk at Madison Square Garden just shooting at random people. That's the other thing.
Oh, well, you're trying to kill the mayor.
They tried to kill so there's 10 guys up there. One guy shoots the mayor, doesn't successfully kill her. That's the other thing. It's not enough people died. It's too bloodless. Again, it has that sanitized.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I was expecting more blood, honestly.
Yeah,
I was kind of disappointed that we got like the stuffer for the carpet, and that was the only thing that got a little bloody. But after like the thumb, no blood. Like it was looking kind of lacked in that. I missed that.
John Turturro's killed basically off screen. Shaky camera, who knows which way to look, and then it's like, oh my god, he's dead, and then the camera looks at him. That's a bloodless death. These guys with rifles, what were they supposed to be doing? One of them took one shot at the mayor, unsuccessful. Yeah. The other ones I thought were supposed to be shooting random people or whomever. Were they supposed to be?
I don't know. That's a good question because like at some point,
Katrina just shooting looters outside the fucking Superdome. That's not something that's actually his book. He lied about that.
I don't know. I don't know what the purpose of these guys were.
Again, they don't fire their guns. Again, the rest of them don't fire their guns until Batman is up there fighting them, and now it's like shooting at him.
Yeah.
I did like when Batman injected himself with original Four Loko.
Yeah.
In order to pump up his adrenaline and continue fighting
and save fucking Catwoman. That was the whole goal of that. But I'm curious about that now too, because that was like a very Bane-like situation. I don't know if you remember the old cartoon when you were little, but like the injection, it was so fucking. That's really because he has to open up a little hole on his thigh. I'm assuming. And then he's able to stab himself in it. That should just be easily accessible. There should not be a fucking two-part system for that when you need to get yourself some adrenaline. Like, oh, let me open this motherfucker up.
But you also don't want to bump your leg up against a coffee table as you're sneaking around someone's house and then like, oh, I'm all hopped up now.
Fair.
Yeah. So he had an adrenaline thing. But again, all this whole part of the movie didn't need to happen. Gotham City is fucking devastated at this point. That's the problem is they gloss over the consequences of this.
The significance of this. Everyone's dying.
The stakes don't matter. It feels low stakes.
The whole time.
Because this tragedy happens, the entire city is flooded and destroyed, and then literally they're all just hanging out like, all right, we're gonna rebuild it and we're gonna be back, we're gonna build back better. Like fucking, just like the fucking president. That's what we're gonna do, and it's like okay. And then the movie's done, and it's like, all right. So we didn't get to exist in this. This catastrophic levee destruction at all.
Yeah, not at all.
So that reduces the stakes. It doesn't really matter that happened. Yeah. So it shouldn't have happened. Again, that part should have been cut out of the movie. And then. This is not. I mean, this is again. I don't want to say the name, but when the Riddler is in prison next, and he has another prisoner next to him, and they're having a conversation, and they both start like cackling.
Yeah,
that happens a lot, and I think I see that a lot. Prisoners. The laughing prisoner thing.
Yeah,
where are prison guards? To be like, shut the fuck up. Why does that not happen? That should happen. I feel like that happened in every movie about prison. Second you make any noise, they're beating their nightsticks against the gates, being like, shut your goddamn mouth, prisoners. But no, not these two prisoners. They get to just cackle like fucking children for a very long scene and there's not a single guard around to, I don't know. That's always funny to me. It's like
quick side note. Side note. This has nothing to do with the film, but last night I was at the studio. Me and Jackie were at the studio, and there was a woman across the street doing the same laugh. And I was like, oh, she's hanging out with someone for sure. She was not, man. She was rolling around with this fucking mound of, she was homeless, but it was so fucking creepy because she was slowly inching her way towards us. And I was getting so freaked out. I was like, we gotta go, Jackie. And she's like, oh my God. She's freaking out. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. That laugh, man, is creepy. And but like also like, yeah, shut the fuck up. Don't do that. Like, needs to be said because no one needs to hear that shit. It's so scary. I was like, fuck this. Yeah. I was a little scared for my life.
That laugh would be creepy in real life. It's
Exactly.
been done in comic book movies a lot. And then it's also, I don't know, if you're trying to make it realistic, where's the angry prison guard who's just like, shut up. All right.
I'm gonna beat your ass, prisoner. Yeah.
So I think we can, unless you have anything else to talk about, I think we can end our spoilers here.
Yeah.
So we'll tell people at the beginning to jump to this part of the film, part of the podcast, if they want to skip spoilers. Which, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, A, please like and subscribe and leave a review. But B, sorry, I've got no way to tell you. Oh, you know what? I can in the episode description. I'll put what times to skip.
Okay. Yeah.
So, okay. All right. So we're out of spoilers. Let's wrap it up. On a scale of 1 to 10, what are you giving this?
I'm honestly, I'm giving it. I want to give it an 8, but it's a 7 for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's lower than I thought. I thought you were going to be much more enthusiastic about it.
I don't know. The second viewing helped it. I honestly want to give it an 8. It's like a 7.9. I'm not going to go in that stupid specifics, but it's like really high for me. So I'm like, I really enjoyed this film. It was a fucking fun movie. It dragged though a little bit for me. I've
recommended it already to people.
Yeah.
And it's a unique way of doing Batman. It is interesting. It's way too long, and it's not super well done, like character wise, as far as like the supporting characters.
Yeah.
But I have recommended it, so yeah, I would recommend seeing this, and I will definitely watch it when this gets put on HBO Max as part of the DC like stuff
universe. Yeah.
I will watch it again for sure because I can't wait to watch the movie at home, which will be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'll give this one a second watch for sure. But yeah, I've been recommending one. I think it was pretty good. Definitely interesting. Definitely a different
approach,
different take on Batman. Who's the director? Matt Reeves.
Yeah, Matt Reeves, and I think let's talk about that for a bit. He's done a lot. Man. He's done some good shit. Like I've actually liked most of the shit he does. Let's see here. Where is your fucking film? War of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, Cloverfield, which I think that's the most fun.
I do like that first Planet of the Apes reboot. The James Franco one was good.
Yeah, that's the one. Actually, I don't know much else besides just Cloverfield was his first movie, I think. His first, yeah. And I really liked Cloverfield when that came out. I remember being really excited about that. And then everything else, Let Me In, I've never seen. But Dawn of the Apes, War of the Apes, Batman. I've enjoyed all the shit a lot. Cloverfield probably is up there with my favorite film of his. Because it deals with the aspect of Lost, and I really like Lost and that whole universe type shit with J.J. Abrams. So yeah.
Interesting. All right. Cool. Well, that's the Batman, everybody. This one's going to be, I think this is going to be the second episode we put out because I want to get it out soon. So we'll do this. This will come out about a week after we record this, I think.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Thanks, everybody. Let's Get Trashed. Follow at Let's Get Trashed Pod on Instagram. Find Let's Get Trashed on Letterboxd. If you have a Letterboxd account, Letterboxd app. Also, YouTube, please like, subscribe, leave a reply, let us know if you liked Batman. Let us know if you hate what we say about Batman. If you don't agree with us, I want to hear it because I do want to hear like what could be
redeeming about this.
Yeah, again, I'm recommending the movie because I like it, but
but other movies
people truly love about this. So yeah. Let us know if you what you think of it. All right. Again, Nick Tazo drums. That's Step on Hen. If you want to follow our personal Instagrams, And look out for maybe some TikTok stuff coming soon. That's going to be on. It'll be Steve spearheading this TikTok initiative of All right. Thanks, everybody. Let's get trashed.
Peace.